Good morning. So I'm at the start of another walk today. This is the entrance gate to the Crichel House estate, the Crichel Park. So this is where I'm starting my walk, and it's going to be partly on country lanes today, which is a good thing, and probably a bit shorter. I did a 9-mile walk yesterday, which I was really pleased with. Hoping to do another walk tomorrow because it's another sunny day. So today I thought in between I would do a bit of a shorter one. Having said that, I might change my mind because it's another beautiful day with clear blue sky, and the forecast is wall-to-wall sunshine all day. And what gets better than a beautiful sunny day in January, fresh in sense of chilly, cold, but good, healthy, blow the cobwebs away kind of weather. So I'm looking forward to this one. Yeah, country lanes, but I don't mind country lanes. They're quiet, and we pass through some delightful villages along the way, and some nice views as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. So I've already reached the first village. In fact, this is actually called Newtown. This is the River Allen, quite in flood still, and this is a river which we followed quite a lot today actually on this walk. So the large old building which you see, I think it's there, in the distance, is the only remaining building from Witchampton paper mill, which used to be on this site, and that's obviously been converted now, but it was originally the homeowner's house, and then I think became offices and part of the mill. The mill closed down, was demolished, and this new town it's called, but I would call it new village really, rather pretty town was built in its place. Look at that sky. Amazing. In the distance over there is Witchampton, where I've come from, and I'm now on another nice country lane. And I like this one because I hardly ever see any traffic along this road, and it's lovely to walk. So according to Mr. Weatherman, we get 3 days of sunshine this week, wall-to-wall sunshine, 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Today is Wednesday. I've forgotten what the date is, something like the 10th of January, is it? Something like that. And yeah, I like to kind of make the most of these days because I'm sure I've got an element of SAD. I find the short winter days, the gloomy grey skies have an effect on me. So when we get sunny days, I like to make the most of it and get out as much as I can, even if it means 3 days in a row. Now, my ankle doesn't like that. My right ankle, the arthritic ankle, and the one also that's trying to get over an operation at the end of last year, would prefer that we had every other day. So I suppose if we could order it, maybe it would be sunny day, cloudy day, sunny day, cloudy day, and rain only overnight. And that would be good, because that way my Al, that's what I call my ankle, Al the ankle, he would rather like to have a rest day in between rather than get clobbered with 3 days of walking. But we have to make do with what is, and so it's 3 days of walking. But he doesn't mind, he's good. And to be honest, when you've got arthritis, you get used to walking with pain, and you can kind of, as long as you love it, which I do, you can kind of put the pain aside somehow, and you can ignore it up to a point. And I guess that's what I've got used to doing, because I've been doing it for so long. My fear more is the future and what happens, because it will get worse. Mid-70s now. By the time I'm 80, will I still be able to walk like this? I don't know. Only God knows that. So for now, we just focus on today and enjoy today, enjoy this phenomenal weather, and just take in all that's around me. And of course it's good to walk anyway. When you've got arthritis, it's good to walk, keeps the ankle mobile, and it also strengthens the ankle, I think. And I think the more you can strengthen the ankle, I think the more you can counteract the effects of arthritis. That's my theory anyway, and I'm working towards that. So I've now reached the next village, which is Hinton Martell, and Hinton Martell has this rather pleasant fountain, I think, in the centre. It was originally built as a watering station for sheep, and it had a fountain in those days which was a different one. This has been replaced since, but it's quite interesting to read how Sir Frederick Traves described the original fountain in his 1905 Highways and Byways in Dorset book. I'll read it because I think it's really funny. The fountain of painted metal, tawdry and flimsy, represents a boy standing in one dish while he holds another on his head. No unhappy detail is spared. The ambitious pedestal, the 3 impossible dolphins, and the paltry squirt of water are all here. How this Café Chanton ornament has found its way into a modest and secluded hamlet, there is no evidence to show. Interesting thought. I think he liked it. It was apparently irreparably damaged in the winter of 1963, so it was replaced by the current one, which is still bubbling away in front of me. And this is the village with the church up in the distance. At this point, I branch off, head cross country to Chalbury. Oh, slippery getting up that slope. Ooh, there's a deer. The spooked a deer. I don't know if that came out on the video. Wow. Bad view, is it? Not that high up. A bit slip slidey climbing up here, but not that high, but it's a lovely view. And there's a seat. Well, I could sit on to enjoy the view, but I'm not, because we go this way over the stile. Lucky. Up in the distance, Chalbury Church appears, and it's a church with a view. I just love this church. I think it's just beautiful. It's small, diminutive, but a lovely church. I'll take you inside it in a minute. And one good thing is that there's a seat here. And I usually sit down and either have lunch or I'll have just a drink, because I brought my flask of hot bovril with me again today.
Chalbury is a small village that sits on top of Chalbury Hill. It is not a lofty hill, being only 335 feet high, but despite that, it still has some amazing views. In fact, the well-known broadcaster Ralph Whiteman wrote of it, "Here there is a hill which is only 300 feet high, but which manages to give a wonderful view over woodland, heath, fertile chalk, and the distant Isle of Wight. This feeling of immense space seen from relatively small hills is a blessed peculiarity of Dorset." All Saints' Church itself sits at the top of the hill. It is said to date originally from the 13th century early English period, when it was simply nave and chancel. As with most churches, it has been altered down through the centuries, with parts being rebuilt in the 16th century, the addition of a north vestry and the south porch in the 18th century, and the interior being extensively refitted during the same period. In fact, the church has very much an 18th century Georgian look. It is inside that this Georgian look is most obvious, as this is one of the few Dorset churches with a complete set of Georgian box pews still in situ. These highlight the hierarchical nature of life in the 18th century, since they are of varying sizes and prominence. All Saints' Church at Chalbury is a beautiful, peaceful and deeply spiritual place, and if I were to compose a list of my favourite Dorset churches, Chalbury would be undoubtedly on it.
Right, time for a cup of hot bovril, I think. Look back at this beautiful little church, and we walk on. It's another lovely view, and over in the distance between the trees, just in there, you can see Horton Tower in the distance. We won't be walking past that today, but we will do at some point this year. But we're going to go on down through that gate. So it's marginally milder now, purely really because the sun's been on the ground. And actually makes it more difficult because it's quite muddy everywhere still, and when it's below freezing it's fine because the mud is hard and you can walk on it. Unfortunately, when the sun gets on it and thaws it out a bit, it makes it difficult to walk on, so I'm going to have to switch around a bit here to try and find a dry patch. And one of the issues I've got at the moment is I'm having to wear shoes rather than boots, which are not so good in the mud, and also don't give me much support in the ankle. The reason for this is I bought a new pair of boots, and the first time out it's given me some sore points, so at the moment I can't wear them. I think the problem is because of the operation at the end of last year, obviously the scar tissue is still healing, so it's a bit sensitive. Anyway, I'm managing okay, not going to stop me. This is glorious. So this is a dividing of the ways. The longer route is to go straight on. The shorter route is to go off to the left and cut across this field. My heart is telling me to do the longer route, but my head is telling me to be sensible and shorten it for today because I want to do another walk tomorrow. So I think we will cut across here to the Horton Inn. Feels like this could be a bit mucky. So it's a bit tricky, this is, because where's the path? You see, the law says that farmers can plough over a footpath, but it's meant to be reinstated, I think within 48 hours, I believe. Some do, some don't. This one obviously hasn't, so I'm just tramping across the middle of his field, treading on who knows what. But I'm hoping there should be a stile over here somewhere, and then I'll know where I'm meant to be. Claggy mud. Ah. Oh, I found the stile. Ooh. No marked footpath again, but at least I can see the Horton Inn in the distance. Another nice view. Ah, so great. So you can see how flooded the meadows are still. This is normally just a tiny stream. On this side, well, can't even see where the river is. Look at that for flooding. The river actually goes through there, and it's the River Allen. I said we'd be following it, but it's crazily flooded. So this was at one time a mill. I think it was bigger than this originally. Quite a big mill driven by the River Allen, which we've now rejoined again. But it's certainly in full flood at the moment. We're really rushing through there. So the River Allen is actually something of a rarity, to be honest, and that's because it's a chalk stream, and chalk streams are quite rare and kind of preserved because they're obviously they're a rare habitat. So we follow the River Allen quite a long way now along this rather pleasant path. I've gone through muddy sections. I've walked on what was a busy country lane back there. I don't know if there's a diversion on somewhere and traffic is extra traffic is on the lane or whatever. I mean, it's usually a bit busy, that section by the Horton Inn, but yeah, it was really busy. But nice to be on solid ground after some muddy paths anyway. So I've now joined what is effectively the carriageway, the old coach road that skirts around the Crichel House estate. So when you walk this part, especially when we get to the old bridges further on, you can just imagine horse and carriage coming down these old roads with Lord and Lady of the Manor out for a little ride. It's always lovely in the autumn, this is, because it's tree lined, and yeah, when the autumn colours are out, it's really nice down here. So this is the first of the old bridges. They've grown over with ivy now. Actually got water. This actually dries up. In fact, there's another bridge you can see over there which is not public, so can't get over to that one. But there's water in here which shows how high the river is, because this normally dries up. This is another old bridge over the River Allen. So one of the things they've done recently is to spread all kinds of branches and tree cuttings along the banks of the River Allen. It's to protect the river in the interest of, they say, conservation, because this is a big dog walking area, obviously, because it's a nice path. And when you've got dog walkers, they obviously put dogs in the water. So it's in the interest of protecting it, but I suspect it's probably more about encouraging trout, because this is a chalk stream and there are trout fisheries. So I suspect it's probably more about that than actually protecting it for wildlife. But means you can't quite get to the riverbank like you used to be able to. But this part here is a real pinch point. There's obviously some kind of bridge across here at one time. But the water's certainly rushing through at the moment. You can see here the Crichel House in the distance, which is somewhere down here, that owns this parkland that we've just been walking round. But we're nearing the end of the walk now. Just a short distance down here. So here we are, back at the gatehouse again, where we started this walk. I hope you've enjoyed walking with me, and once again, thanks for coming along. And for now, this is the Dorset Rambler saying, until next time.